Hello, everyone. Corrie here, coming in to record for this weekly energy update and the full moon. And this full moon is in Cancer, and there's a lot to unpack with this moon. This moon appears to be kind of coming in with the power of the intuitive part of all that Cancer is. It is as if the Great Mother has stepped foot upon this earth and said, no more. And so we have this powerful influence of the divine expression of Mary and the Mother Mary, and not just Mother Mary, all that represents that of the Divine Mother, which is also Isis, which is goddess Isis. Let me get that correct, which is the goddess Isis, and having her name be taken and used in a not great way is she has a fury about that. So there is a fury of energy that is coming in with this Cancer. It is that of when the explosion of the Divine Mother steps in, is things are about to take a turn, things are about to take a change in direction, and there is to be a massive turnaround or a massive turn of events. So there is this turn of events. There is this divine expression that is coming in with this powerful moon energy. Now, this moon is, and what makes this moon so spectacular to me, is that this moon, what I'm seeing in the energy, is that this moon is going to be overshadowing Mars. So it is the feminine, the power of softness, love, light, compassion that is overshadowing the Mars influence of the war aspect. And so there is a big shift that is happening in that area. So the way that I think, and I don't ever write anything down, but I was going to write this and I took it out of the message that I shared last night. So I just want to bring that back, see if I can just find it for a moment. Sorry. Oh, yes, I know what I had. So this is where it feels as if the water of Cancer is acting as if it is ice. And for a temporary period of time, is that it is putting out the fires. And so the fire is dampening. And I don't mean I don't mean the fires just on Earth. I mean the fires, the fire energy. And it just feels like we're coming down into a simmer and seeing a lot of smoke, which reveals a lot of smoke and mirrors, right? So a lot of smoke and mirrors and illusions that are falling that we're going to be seeing. So there's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of illusions that will be that will appear, but real truth will not be seen until the smoke clears. And so the fire's not gone forever. The fire is just been out of control. And so it's bringing things back into a controlled energy. And so I mean the element of fire. And so the Mars, the moon is kind of coming in, and it's being the parenting thought to really help bring the influence of this Mars energy to be able to bring it back and to give it a reflection, to be able to see itself and to see who and what it truly is. Now, I have been saying in my forecast readings that are on the More Than Existing Academy this year for each zodiac sign, is I said Aries is going to be received. Aries is not the same as Aries once was. The zodiac of Aries has gone through some sort of shift or change, and it is now moving and shifting from the powerful force of masculine and into the power of feminine. And there is a big shift. And I don't mean it's for every Aries. I mean it's for a specific, so on a side of the Aries. And so and it doesn't mean you still don't have all the other energy, but there's a shift that's happening. And this influence of the Cancer is where the return. So there is something returning into this Cancer energy. There's something that's returning of where the Cancer energy influences us in the zodiac sign and its house and its relationship with the moon and the power of the moon that really reveals shadows. And so we're seeing there, it's highlighting the shadow aspect of everything so that it can be seen, so that we can discover a truth, so that we can find a new truth, that we can be honest, and that there is a sense of honesty that's going to reveal itself, that overshadows that sense of darkness that has been interfering or controlling our lives. So there is a movement that is happening. But when Mars enters back and the moon moves, we are getting a brighter than ever Mars influence. We're getting and so it feels like it's coming with conviction. So we're moving into more intuitive time, a time of great conviction. And it's where we really look at how the female energy or the woman energy or the feminine energy has been either discounted, diluted, or has been intercepted, and how our ability to be compassionate has been taken advantage of, and how it has been that we have given so much space for way that we have given away much of the feminine power, and the feminine power is being returned to its natural, organic, authentic place of being. And that's the message, and that's how clear they give it. And I don't have any other, I can tell you that's exactly as has been given to me. It's as if this, like, hands down on the table and it's a rumble and just said, we are here to restore things. We are here to bring resurrection and restoration back, to bring peace, to bring light, to bring love back. But also that it is a time of where the true authenticity of the feminine is about to re-enter and about to become a force to be reckoned with. And so this is a return of the feminine. And this could be the feminine in anyone, right? We all have the masculine and the feminine, but as the Mars, this is a different kind of war. This is a war that is fought with love and not with weapons. This is one that is fought of love, and this is where light, and this is where my messages from the angels and from the ancient ones have been ringing so true for so long. And as we move into and through this energy, that you may feel empowered, you may feel like you're ready to go, but they're also flipping that mirror and saying, you have to see what's your responsibility, that somebody else is not responsible for what you have to do. This is on you. And so things may go wrong. Things, people may still reveal their true colors to you. But if you keep allowing that to happen, if you keep allowing yourself to be treated a certain way, that's on you. That's not on the person per se. They're responsible for their actions, but you are responsible for what you keep allowing. You are responsible for what you keep believing. You are responsible when you know there's a hole and you keep falling in the hole. It is not the fault of the hole. It is not the fault of however the hole got there. It's the fact that you realize that it's still there. You are so determined to go that way, to live that way, to be that way, that you keep going into the hole and returning to being a victim to the hole. But yet you're only a victim to the hole because you will not go another way. You will not walk another direction. You will not try something new. You will not leave something behind. And every time you keep falling into the hole is that you are making a choice. And so this moon does come with a powerful truth of accountability and responsibility and ownership, and owning that so that we can heal that aspect of ourselves. And healing on a massive level is also to realize that if you don't want to be judged, you have to look at your own ability to judge. If you don't want to be criticized, you have to look at your own ability to criticize, to critique. And so there is a flip to everything. There is a this and that to everything. And this moon is speaking to us from that place so that we can find our way back to what is really true and to find the true fairness. And so there's a teaching in More Than Existing that was given to me. And it turned out to be a big writing for me through listening through spirit and speaking to the spirit of truth. And through that spirit of truth, I asked about equality. And they said, everything can't be fully equal because it will not create the balance that is needed. Everything is designed to be fair and fairness. And so fairness and balance does not equate to fully equal. That's not how the world is designed to work. So you may not get all of your own way. The world may not go as you want it to go. People may not get treated exactly as we need to, but we need to begin to return to fairness. And fairness is very different. And, to be fair to yourself, you recognize where you have been. You recognize that some things have been because of an old hurt, because you just weren't awake, or because your heart was just hurting, or because of certain reasons. To be fair to ourselves means that we also know the power to go gentle, to be kinder to the self, to be much more to be much more aware of how we can beat ourselves up, or how we are still reacting and responding to shame. I know how I got there. I know how that keeps happening. I know how. I just don't know the way. I don't know how to move beyond that. So guide me through the way. Guide me to understand the power of listening to my intuition, whatever that may be. I do know how, so that you can have compassion for how we get to where we get, and to how things get out of hand or out of control. We get it. We get how darkness seeps in. We get how fears seep in. We get how we get so caught up in beliefs and beliefs and values that were never really ours. We get it how empathy can become how empathy can lead us to be blindsided by the fact of making everyone and everything comfortable in a place where they don't fit. Is not everyone or everything is meant to have or meant to be a part of something. But you're meant to be here on earth, and you're meant to be a part of something in a specific area, but maybe not in every area. We're not for everyone. We don't belong everywhere. We belong exactly where we are meant to be. And so there is a sense of resolution and healing of the egoic self that is in this moon, that moves beyond this moon, that moves through this big shift that is happening that we are now in. We come through the 111, and the 111 was a big message for me, as the recording had no sound. And I didn't know it had no sound until I came out from a class that I had been in. And normally I would jump into action, run home, be panicking, be all mad, be upset that the recording was gone. How stupid am I? I never looked again. How dumb. And not once did that enter my wheelhouse of thoughts. I just went, well, I didn't check. I didn't check the sound. I know on my Zoom that sometimes the audio jumps back to an audio to a speaker that I don't have, that is not really there. I know that sometimes happen. I didn't take the time to look. I had a message. I got all caught up in the message. The message is now out of me, so the message is received. Whoever was listening you did somehow get that message without hearing the words. You got the light, you got the energy, whatever that is. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And it's now done. It's now gone. It's now over with. It taught me, it was really a teaching that could be written in words that I shared through my experience on my Facebook page, which you can go listen to. And all I had left was the cover. That was it, just the cover. And so just the cover was enough. And sometimes all we need is just the remembering, is just the memory. Sometimes all we need is the memory. We don't need the energy of what once was. When we can let go of the past, when we can really truly free ourselves of existing in the past, living from the past, living from past versions of ourselves, and let that all go, is that all you'll have is the memory. But what we release is the emotional charge. And when we release the emotional charge, we neutralize the past. And when you neutralize the past, you start doing something differently. You don't fall into the hole of the past, because you don't travel to the past to decide your future. You don't travel to the past to decide how you're going to feel, how you're going to react, how you're going to respond to any experience that you are in the present moment. And you're going to be able to move more freely into, this is this moment, this is this experience. I can access through the memories that I once experienced something, and I can extract the how to from there. How did I overcome this? How did I get through this? And what did I do back then that I need to either not repeat now or to do again from an evolved state of being? What do I need? And how do I do this? This will guide us to be able to access the past from a neutral state of being. So there is this neutralizing energy, and moving beyond that came this today. And I didn't rush in to record a message yesterday. I didn't rush into, no, this message comes by listening to spirit. And when the spirit speaks through us, when you feel that anxious energy to finally to do something, to take charge, that this is when we move, and we move through this energy. And sometimes that mother that was just pulling us back by the hood and just says, you just have to wait. And you're like, you're ruining my life. It's like, oh, you can't date until you're 15, 16. You're ruining my life. I'm never going to be able to have a life. You have destroyed my life. I'm just going to be a laughing stock. It's no, that mother energy that pulled you back and just said, just wait, just wait. Chances are that just wait was a saving grace in your life. That just wait was giving you time to grow, to mature, to become the best version of yourself, to have a greater awareness of what is to be. And sometimes love has us wait. Sometimes love lets us fall into the hole enough times that only us can rise us from the hole. Because only when that spark, only when we get that desire, only when something inside of us ignites and we begin to listen to that, are we willing to listen to all of the other wisdom and guidance that we know we have heard, but we haven't received. And so when you open up the heart, you open up the mind, all the mail of all of this great wisdom, this great knowledge that you would have received before, it's like mail sitting on the step, waiting to be opened, waiting to be received, and waiting to be embodied within you. And so this is a time of where this embodiment of this greater wisdom, this greater knowing, is now waiting for you, but it's up to you to open that door. It's up to you to move beyond. It's up to you to recognize and see that, I have to put out those fires. I have to put out those old fires that keep burning, that keep burning a hurt story, that keep something true, that keep me being empathetic and sympathetic to the things that I need to stop believing that I have to, because I've had past hurts, then that everything that somebody is hurt over is a real true pain story, and that I have to nurture the shadow. So every time that we embody and enlighten and infuse the shadow with a validation that this is who you are. Yes, sweetie. Yes, honey, you can do whatever you want. It's like, no, you can't. No, you can't. And it's time that these fires are being put out. And as these fires of you can do anything that you want, you can take over whatever you want. We're not here to create more madmen or mad women. We're here to create harmony. We're here to bring light into the world. We're here to bring love into the world. And that love comes with a level of acceptance. But sometimes we have to accept that we know there's a hole. We know the way, but yet we can't block off that other people are going to have to fall in those holes, and that hole is there. You can put warning signs up, you can do whatever, but people are going to move the signs. They're going to fall in the hole. They're going to go down that path. They're going to fall in that place. And until it hurts enough, until they recognize that they are no closer to authenticity, that they are still masked, that you're still hiding, that you're still being defiant, that you're still feeding the hungry ghost in the shadow and not really feeding the authentic self, because we have nurtured, inspired, encouraged the growth of in the collective consciousness, and in the collective consciousness, the shadow, the imitation of truth and not real truth, and the shadow of people. And we have had less of inspiring the light. And so light is a part of the authenticity. And when you find the light, and when the light comes on, you will know, because you will know who you are enough to know who you are not. You will not even go on the road to where the hole is. You will not even want to go past the hole. You will want to walk a whole different direction, go a different way. And this is where the past is to be left behind, to know that those smoke and mirrors is revealing the illusions of old truth that is based on those past fires. And this is now where the Mars comes into being a futuristic being that is to be a trailblazer, a clearing energy that is here to light the way. And this is also the beginning of the Venus being inspired and brightened and growing and receiving some sort of like it's like the light of God has entered into Venus, and it's illuminating and igniting more light into this world. And so the essence of our divine expression is that Mother comes with love, but sometimes it's pulling us back by the scruff of the neck, and our little legs are dangling, and we're like having little tantrums and getting all mad, and like, you're holding me back. It's time for me to go. And it's like, I need to do this now. And everything is saying I need to go and I need to do this. And you're like having that little fight, and you're like, I'm doing it anyway. And if you activate the rebel, if you activate that of defiance, it's that you will find yourself falling back in the hole and just saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to listen. I'm going to sit this out for a little bit. I'm going to wait on this, and action will come. And those actions begin with cleaning and clearing up our space, cleaning and clearing up the energy, getting off the old path, letting those home fires burn away those past, letting things clean up the ashes, clean up the dirt, because when we're busy cleaning and clearing, that's when wisdom speaks. That's when divine guidance comes in. And then we feel the true urge of the light that influences us to move forward. And as we begin to move forward, time is irrelevant. And as we begin to move forward, we begin to walk into a life that feels more like home, and feels more like where we want to reside, where we need to reside, and where our truth really lives. And so you may be met with many temptations of the past tempting you right now, of where it's trying to bring you back. You may be having this burning desire in your heart going, oh, but I just feel this urge. Like, I feel like, I have to step in there. If you step in, you're stepping back into the fire. What happens when we step back into the fire that burns us, right? You will get burned again. And so you can get burned again. You can fall in the hole again, but we are moving beyond the smoke and mirrors. And so the illusions. And so what reflects is what we believe. And so moving beyond the shame, moving beyond the hurts, moving beyond all of that energy is guiding us to a new existence. Here's this beautiful feline, this beautiful, what appears to be a cat. And so if this cat is that of the goddess of the cat, so it'd be Sigmat. And so, and if you see the power of everything else that's happening, it's easy to see her. It's easy to see she's looking in a mirror, but what is she seeing? What's looking back? And when you look in the mirror and one tear trickles down your face, that means that you are truly seeing all the way to the soul, and that you and the soul are becoming a mirror reflection to each other. When the smoke goes down, the true fire will burn. And the true fire that burns does not hurt, does not harm, does not do damage. That true fire that burns is the fire that moves through us, that moves us, and is that of the divine expression. Here is the new life. These beautiful hearts all have authentic little prints like thumbprints. And your authenticity is in that, just in you, just like your thumbprint. You were born enough. You were born mattering. This is about fairness. This is about looking at justice and equality very different, because sometimes some people have to take more of the responsibility and more of the load. And when they take more of the responsibility, more of the load, when they are the trailblazers, is that those who walk with or behind are still leaders, but you lead in different ways. So the one that sometimes has to take the blow sometimes gets to reap a different level of a reward, but everyone is rewarded. But when we take away fairness and we go into calculated mistreatment and greed, we lose a sense of harmony that comes with creating a balance that works. And that is why the angelic realm does have a hierarchy. Why? Is because they know that we all have a purpose and we all work together to be a part of that. And that is primal, that is divine, that is a part of who we are. So the belief that anyone would have been better than another person is an absolute lie. That anyone would be more than another is an absolute lie. The truth of knowing that we all have a purpose, we all came with a purpose, and that we all have a potential. When we shut down our ability to be the best version of ourselves, we allow the shadow to lead the life. And when shadow is leading our life, we are not being led by the light. We are being led by our own inner darkness. Time to move beyond that own inner darkness and guide it back into the light. And the mother is here to do that. I send you so much love. I know this moon energy has some crazy energy. And I just heard to finish this off with one more card, though. I knew it. I knew they were coming with a card. And so this is bringing awareness of truth. And this is the Karina card. And so this card was never not intended by me or by the artist to put this into the cards. This was a portrait that was painted of her reflection of me. And we decided that it would go into the cards. And it came with some, or not we, they. And so it came with me really, truly judging myself on putting this card in. And as I did say yes, I realized that this was so beyond us, because if it wasn't meant to be created to be a part of the everyday goddesses, it would not have been a part of the cards. And so the awareness of truth is the Karina card. And this card brings us to this place of recognizing that when we place ourselves on the throne, when we sit at the right hand of the divine, of God, of goddess, of creator, of source, of whatever that is that we recognize that we are not the full power, but we are a part of something powerful and beautiful and that we all really truly do matter, and that your well-being matters, your happiness matters, that your safety matters, that things really matter. But that we create that when we stop living with the inner enemy and we start living with the best friend, is that we remember where we belong. And so you hold the key. You hold the key. You just sometimes don't remember where you put it. And you close off the heart, you shut down. And this is the sense of being, to be fair, I didn't know. To be fair, I was unaware. But once you know, you know. And once you know and you keep repeating a pattern, it is then a choice. And you are the one that keeps making the choice. So we are being told that this is where we have to be radically honest to ourselves and to take that journey into recognizing the awareness of that we all really do matter. And that if we do the world in a more healthy sense of living, is that we can create harmony, a sense of balance, a sense of living as Earth was designed to be, with more love, compassion, kindness, and caring, but also a command of respect and a command of knowing that we all have a voice and that we are here to use that voice. I send you so much love. Have a beautiful week, and I will talk to you again soon. Much love. Bye-bye.